Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. I'm trying to restream again. I'm just crazy. I'm just trying to find my way. It's been a while. I'll do a catch up to see what our friend Katie Joy's been up to. There's been a lot going on. I have no idea what this is all about. So, hopefully, you are well. Oh, hello, Harrison. Of course, it's Harrison. Oh, look, I got breaking news. I'm just a whole pile of new things on here I haven't seen before. Mic check. No. What's this one? Oh, cool, like a kid in a candy shop. So, hopefully, we can sort this out and I can do this pretty well. I have a fixation at the moment, definitely with Blake Lively. And that court case. Hello, plan to create. No, I'm not. I don't know. Am I? Should I? Hello, plan to create. How are you going? So, oh, cool. There's a few cool. So we've got all of this stuff here. And apparently, now what has been very allegations she made against the judge have disappeared, but we'll have a look. So it's very much heavily, although there is one here of her and Toad had cancer. I wish him all the, but that hasn't stopped her from posting, and I shouldn't have done that. Sorry, I shouldn't have shown that. That's about. So let's have a look at her thing. Miss Ball's Twitter, because she's got all the stuff there. My reporting has been shared on a few forums. I ran a space. Not hearsay, not gossip. Happened, apparently. By someone that knows, not hearsay, not gossip. Oh, hello, without a lawyer. How are you? Hearsay is anything that's told to you by somebody else. Actually, that's the proper definition of hearsay. It's an evidence. It's hearsay. Information received from other people which cannot be which is usually disallowed as evidence in a court of law. Hearsay is generally disallowed. A witness may only tell the court what they saw or heard or otherwise witnessed, and not what someone else told them about what happened. So unless you are a first place hearsay. So if she's saying this accident was 100% to me by somebody that knows, not hearsay, well, I'm sorry, it's hearsay, unless there are records to show that the accident happened, or somebody that was in the accident has spoken about it. Unless it's a person in the accident, it's hearsay. I'm just stating fact. apparently her source alleged this guy's got no remorse. So she's onto this. For somebody that's got a sick husband and is having to look after a child, she's posting a huge amount. In my opinion. I have been really flat out myself. Oh, he was captured as, was he? So, yeah. So, yes. So, unless it's a first person account, it's technically hearsay. Now, generally, the only people that are that can give hearsay evidence are police officers, because the police officers actually give account of what they were told. So their evidence is, I was told this witness has said X, Y, Z. Because there's a lot in here. So we're going to go back. I'm not going to go back a long way. We'll go back a little bit because there's a lot here to see. Not the world's responsibility to fund Bag's cancer surgery treatment. Surely have insurance. And Katie Joy bragged about making $90K a month with millions in revenue. Whether somebody is out, why do I keep seeing pro advocacy against others? How about just posting the content if you want and letting the audience decide? Katie Joy's husband was diagnosed with cancer, and her content creation job is their sole income while she helps him get through treatment. Need to make content to survive. Trying to guilt trip people either way is yucky. We all have issues we are dealing with our life. I think enough has gone public about Blake and Ryan that any moral person can see they're not good people. It isn't a grey area, but watch who you want. And then someone says, Miss Ball says, she bragged about making $90K a month and said she made millions in revenue. While I wish Todd a full recovery, because that's for their child, Todd cancer immune to feedback or criticism, and that is true. Just because your is sick doesn't make, and if you're still posting, and then she's done some Photoshop. Someone says, I have to ask, does woacb really have these insiders? There's so many creators who've been covering this case from the beginning. So, and Miss Ball says, well, obviously Reddit and some other people's work. I don't know what that's about. These flowers are hideous. Her mum never criticizing her and enabling her created this monster. Oh, okay. And then, of course, there's her flowers. Okay. I get it now. Team Justin Baldoni, please be aware WAC spreading misinformation about the body double for intimate scenes. No body double was used for any intimate scenes. What you see, particular steamy, is JB's actual body. But and this is where she's got to be careful. And the other thing is, she's saying that they've CGI'd face on the body double. But yeah, in the in the legal document, it's no body doubles were used. Who do you believe? This is the about disappearing email. And then, of course, that's from the top. Okay. So the lawsuit was dismissed, of course, and Ms. Ball says, let's take a moment to bow our heads and mourn the loss of Katie Joy's latest obsession. This isn't a win for you. Now, here she's criticising the judge. The judge can protect his investment by ruling it's not damaging T-Mobile Mint success is 100% dependent on Ryan Reynolds' public image. So she's accusing here the judge of corruption. Now, that's a very dangerous game. So she's here and she's talked about the prejudice and refused to consider Baldoni's argument with malice against Reynolds, Sloan, and an attachment to the CRD complaint was a draft legal complaint, was privileged under litigation privilege, which defies logic. And then she says the judge has got a himself. 2024, he threw out an antitrust cat, which was reversed. And then he's got T-Mobile. So she started to dive into the judge's background. Of course she has. At least 15 cases where he failed to recuse himself. That is a pretty serious accusation. And here she is again. Extortion was always huge reach because what Blake did might have been extortion for everyday purposes, but it didn't meet the legal definition. Same with defamation. Defamation claim, plus it would just delay things, delay the case. She says they should 100% appeal. Lyman owns stock in T-Mobile, which owns Mint Mobile, and his brother is repped by Selma Hayek's husband, company CAA. Blake recently reunited. Doug Lyman is rep CAA. It's impropriety. You're accusing a full court of corruption, one that has a near perfect appeals record and zero evidence ever of corruption. And then she says he's already been proven corrupt. He literally got into big trouble with the appeals court for corruption last year. That is a big no. You do not accuse a judge of corruption. It comes under judicial misconduct. And it's quite hard. There is there's a whole process anyway for a judge if there was a belief that so for federal judges, complaints are filed with verbs. So that's in the US for corruption. But just because a judge has their verdict overturned, technically is corrupt or wrong. So I've just put this in. Criticizing judges can be hazardous to your professional health. So we're just going to look at this one. This is from Lexology. Professional consequences that befell lawyers who speak out against judges they perceive to be incompetent. Hi, Vedandra. Although instinctively believe that the First Amendment broadly protects their opinions and good faith criticisms of judges, it is clear that as 2022 for direct or implied criticism of judges, both inside and outside the courtroom, as a violation of a variety of ethical rules. Now, remember, I mean, Katie Joy gives the impression accused of impersonating a lawyer, because lawyers don't criticize judges. So here's a judge, this Benjamin Pavone. He found that it's disgraceful. The court declined to enjoin the bar proceeding against this one. In Freshman and Amazon, again, a federal judge sanctioned 3 lawyers, and they accused that Amazon used a Jewish stereotype to win the case. The judge ordered the lawyers complete 30 hours of ethics related continued in Victor Marshall in Mexico. His license was suspended. So these are all cases where they've accused the judge of. So then we've got this one, Blake Lively caught in a lie. And then she said, hello, Vedandra. Her case was dismissed to the lawsuit being retaliatory and because 19 non-profits filed amicus briefs in support of her. Judge Len did not rule the lawsuits frivolous, denied attorney fees, and provided leave to amend. Amend only has one M, by the way. The judge also wrote, did he use California's anti-SLAPP to make a decision? He literally wrote, the decision has nothing to do with 47.1. The amicus briefs did nothing to help the case. Blake is intentionally misleading the media that she found. Blake is not speaking for women, for her own ego and money. This one says, so here she's going on. Well, without a crystal ball, found some very inappropriate conflicts of interest that came out last year about Judge Lemon, his dismissal of a Bank of America case, which later found him because his wife owns stocks in Bank of America, and the dismissal was stock in T-Mobile, which owns Mint Mobile, partly owned by Ryan Reynolds. I see another conflict of punishment and another possible reversal. And then someone says, yeah, these videos are getting very tiresome. I remember when she got ejected from the Douglas sub for that kind of stuff. One, he disclosed the conflict on the discovered his wife owned stock, which is not what a corrupt judge would. 2, that situation is nothing like here because none of the case and a ruling in this no direction financial effect on the company in which he owns stock. Just because people don't like a ruling, this conspiracy mongering is wrong. That person makes a really good point. And innuendos, these types of tinfoil hat accusations undermine the cause you are supporting and drive reasonable people away. Judges can make bad decisions without having ethical problems or bad intentions. Side edited to add, and I'm pro Baldoni. Me too. I think he can defend himself against the flimsy accusations. He doesn't need clout chasers and those addicted to drama and conspiracy creating crazy theories. Time, it's not the end of the world, and that's why there's the pit. That's why. And then someone says, "Not true. Doesn't own stakes anymore in Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile isn't a party and isn't directly related to the case mentioned was a direct party, which was a conflict of interest and had their stocks prices impacted down when he found out. These 10-4 conspiracies are not helping Justin's case. It just makes his side look completely unprofessional and unfounded. Attacking the judge online for no reason in a case where Baldoni's getting is not helping." And then she says, "Focus on your sick husband and or your lawsuits." So then she shared removal surgeries tomorrow, and what is Katie Joy doing? Spreading misinformation and defaming a federal judge. So let's have a look. See if we can.
And when he comes home, he's going to need help because of the recovery process for surgeries like this is not very easy.
Okay. Also, if the goblin is
undergo surgery to have his prostate removed, and that surgery to make his life and our life a little bit different. So he will be undergoing surgery.
Okay, means that Vag is already infected because Vag was the one up all night tending to his adrenal insufficiencies. His medical. All right. So then she said, then she's posted about his surgery again. And of course, tomorrow's Mr. Chris. It would happen. Our kiddo has been running a cold fever for 4 days. We might go to the hospital to visit tomorrow. Poor V is so sad about not being able to go and worried about his daddy. We've been up every night at 2 a.m. giving meds to manage his fever and adrenal insufficiency. Tomorrow when he wakes up, his dad will be prepped for surgery and we can't be there. I feel so horrible that hubby has to be without us. Thankfully, his brother and dad are going to be there when he wakes up. Thanks for the good thoughts. Now, so his dad and brother is the insider WOACB. This is exactly what she spewed yesterday. This is more important than her husband, apparently. My source alleges that Katie Joy has agoraphobia and can never leave the house except to go to one place, aka the liquor store. Allegedly, being obsessed with Blake is more important than being with her husband during his cancer surgery. I just got that picture. Yeah, she posted that. It's got lots more stuff here. If this is true, why hasn't this already been addressed? Because it's not true and WACB is wrong, as she's frequently assaulted with the employment lawyer all morning. Obviously not a great one, which is why expert advice. To be honest, it's so annoying that anyone is wasting an attorney's time calling about people with actual claims who've actually been discriminated against or harmed by random influencers asking about a celeb trial. Least trustworthy place you could go to get info. A broken clock is always right twice a day, and while she gets one thing right, accurate posts. I wish half the things WOACB said were true. However, I know this one isn't true. Nothing more than the CRD to get the right to sue letter and then sue, which is what she did. I cannot stand Blake, but he followed the proper steps, including loopholes and using unethical practices away. I'm sure this was put into works by someone who coached her all the way through to make this as hard for JB as possible. We are seeing it play out. Orchestrated takeover of this man's entire life, reputation, work. It's sickening that BL can get it all learning. Our justice system is flawed, and the powerful person will come out on top. And that's it. I did say Justin tormenting her. She can't sit here and tell me she doesn't constantly pick apart life and give incorrect information for her own monetary gain. Plus things like this, I'm scared that people will pick their parts, their lives. Anyway, so people are now complaining about the fact that she's on this train. The pro-Justin subreddit are talking about how wrong she gets. I do want to know how this out since it's confidential. And she says, I've got my sources, but the standard is this. First, you go to the state, and after the state provides the right to sue, then go to EOC. She got her right to sue notice on December 21, 2024. Another suit was filed 10 days later. A letter from CA to go to the EEOC within 30 days and file the complaint before suing in federal court. EEOC complaints do not allow investigations to be waived. So say she filed with the EEOC on December 22, 2024. They have until May 22, 2025 to investigate and make the determination. She can only request a letter to sue once the investigation is complete, meaning she could not have filed earlier than May 22. But my source was clear that there was no complaint filed, and Blake is barred from filing one because she was never their direct employee. She was hired as an independent contractor, which are not covered on the EEOC title. I did not make this post without confirmation. And it says that I find it very problematic that woacb pretends to be a lawyer when she's not. And she says, this was all literally discussed with a lawyer before I posted. The laws are clear. That's why you are my go-to source for information about this case. Then you aren't paying attention because she very often states she's not a lawyer. WAICB has lost all credibility in my eyes. I was not trusting her for a while and stumbled on the sub that used to be for her fans, but is now her ex-fans who point out her inconsistencies, including items related to this case. I will not try to verify, and I will wait for a reliable resource. I used to love keeping up with WACB, but it's becoming too exhausting. She says the facts of EEOC are clear, and this will become an issue at some point, either now, summary judgment, or the courts get thrown out before trial. Of course, she talks as if she knows what she's talking about. Anyone directing you to a sub, the bot. She says, anyone directing you to that sub is a bot or someone from my haters group. They want to discredit me. A bot. It's just funny how as soon as that cut gets so then she said there's an update on Mr. Crystal Ball again, and then she's got another one. And then we've got that's right. She was talking about Blake Lively's alcohol or something. Apparently, she was talking about alcohol. No amount of real food will change the alcohol consumption. It's not healthy. I mean, drink. I accept that most people drinking alcohol aren't pretending it's organic and healthy. She's complaining about prices of alcohol. Here, there we go. No amount. It says the warning that alcohol comes with that alcohol can cause health problems. It's funny. In Australia, they all have to have a health warnings. I mean, even cigarettes have a warning on it. You have to have warning labels on them. So then she talked about, and Kelly Wilkin applied. Yeah. She says he's refused and he's only taking extra strength Tylenol. Isn't Tylenol, extra strength Tylenol, a pain med? She said here, he's got a lot more energy today than he has. He got up to feed the animals dinner and has been walking around with limited pain. No narcotics at all since immediately after surgery. Truly amazes this man's strength, and learning about cancer and management of his catheter has been a whole new journey. Next week, the catheter will be out and he will be on the path to recovery. The nurses at the hospital were wonderful and made sure we knew that most men don't have the serious side effects that the internet spends a lot of time talking about. So no Googling for us, because he's doing better than what Google told us he'd be like post-op. Why is he feeding the animals? And then she's talking about her family again, about the pathology, with the results. So, okay, and then some misinformation there. All right. She went from accusing Lyman of being corrupt to now admonishing for speculating about him. So now she's defending the judge. Okay. So, YouTube video got people to file complaints against Judge Lindman. What? So they said, I did my part by filing against this judge. If more people file a complaint, he might actually get investigated for a suspicious ruling. When, how did you do this? Replied to this comment. So she did a video, and now, so how is she going to get away from that, get out of that one? By saying she's done a video and then she's incited people to she's incited people to make, they've said, I've filed against the judge. How is she going to get out of that one? And then she was telling people they had to leave this Reddit. Blake supporters and bots have invaded the subreddit. And there was not a Father's Day post for Ag. So that is where we are at. I haven't seen her videos. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we should watch the video where that's incited people to go after the judge, but it's not a very good idea. So I'm interested to see what you all think about all of this. I haven't kept up with the Blake Lively stuff. I haven't kept up with a lot of this. I'm just too busy living my own life. I'm doing a medical trial for a new weight loss drug, which has knocked me around a bit. It's been very interesting. It's inquires. It's one of the sister drugs to Ozempic. So instead of having to have an injection weekly, it's a monthly injection. So I have to see a doctor every time I go. There's got to be bloods. I've got to I have an appointment with a doctor that we discuss, and we talk about mental health. I do a weighing, and then I get I get another injection. Now it's called a double-blind trial, so it means that I don't know what I'm being given, and they don't know what I'm being given, whether it's the dose or whether it's placebo. But I've lost 4 kilos so far. I'm feeling a lot better. The downside is I lose my appetite, so I can go. I don't actually realize that I haven't eaten. And so once I have eaten, I have to be very much aware of what I eat and if I'm going to eat or what I'm eating. So sometimes I have to make myself eat because I don't want to eat. If that makes sense. I also have an appointment with a dietitian as well. So discussing that, and so because I'm not eating enough at the moment. I've got to go on meal replace. So I'm going to make my lunchtime a meal replacement shake because I'm usually out at lunch or I'm either teaching at school or something. And so it's easy just to have a meal replacement shake. So I've got to try and remember to eat something in the morning. And I've got to eat something at night. And I say remember because I forget sometimes. But other than that, I'm not hungry, and my serving sizes have gone down. So there's been it's been very interesting. So yes, I've got a little bit of a cold. For those of you that are interested, I've just filmed a very quick plan with me because I'd already done my planning. I'd already planned it out before I'd actually remembered I hadn't filmed it. So put that up, and I've got a couple of other videos to put up. But Thursday, I'm hoping to watch the Reynolds versus the Commonwealth of Australia hearing. So that will be very interesting. One of the biggest side effects that I've had from this trial has been nausea. But I'm going through it. It finishes December next year. So, and I think one of the benefits is, so I'm seeing a dietitian, and I'm seeing and I'm also getting seeing a physio. So, getting exercise stuff. But until I get my eating right, I can't really fix the exercise part. So, spending this first little bit getting my eating right. But yeah, I've got all the anti-nausea stuff and everything. And I've also had to have laser on my eyes. I've spent thousands because the pressure in my eyes were built up, and the tube that drains all the fluid from the eyes down into actually was too small, and so it was making the pressure too high in the eye, which was causing my really severe headaches. So I had to have laser done. So I've had laser done in each eye, and it was $500 for each eye. And then my car had to have work on it, and that was $2,500. So the last few weeks have been a really big drain. So I have just been working and trying to get stuff so I can survive and pay my bills. But look, the medical trial, and I get paid $100 for every appointment that I attend for medical trial, which is very helpful. But look, if we can find a drug that is going to work. The other thing is with this drug that they're also looking at for people on addiction, because my coffee consumption has actually halved. There are days I can go through a day and realize I've only had one coffee, which is not like me. I love my coffee. So they believe that it also could help with addiction. So people who are addicted to substances may benefit from this type of drug because it takes away all of those desires. So, yeah, I just need to get rid of this cold. I hate this. So, yeah. But yeah, so that's what's been happening with me, other than the fact that it's a bit cold at the moment. So yeah, so that's me nearly done for the night. I think I'm gonna probably sign off early. And yeah, so tomorrow's my day. I've got to go to my normal GP tomorrow. Oh, the other thing is what they do is if there's anything that comes up in blood work or some testing that is concerning, they send you straight off. So I've got a letter from my GP because they repeated a test twice, and although it's not a major concern, they've said we've noticed that there could be this could be a problem. And they have said maybe you need to do some further investigation. Oh, the other thing I also had to do is I had to go see a cardiologist because I have a history of my family history is heart disease, and my grandfather was in his 50s when he passed. And I'm getting close to that age, and I really wanted to be proactive in that and get on the front foot, that so if there was an issue, I could do what I can to prevent it. And I had to have what was called a calcium score, where they do a CT on your heart to see how much calcium build-up's on that. Now, I was really shocked to discover that that is not covered by Medicare because it's a preventative measure, which I find it really bizarre that, and it was, what was that? That was $600. It was ridiculous. That something that can tell you whether you are a low, medium, or high risk of heart attack is not covered by Medicare. Because and the funny thing is, if I had chest pain, and I was having a heart attack, I could get that same test done for free because it's. But anyway, and then I had to have an echo and all of that sort of stuff. And my heart is really healthy. There's no there's no build-up on the heart, and so everything's healthy on that. So I'm at a low risk, which means because of the family history, I have to go and do it all again in 5 years. So yes, so it's I have been really busy trying to fit medical appointments in around life and work and everything else. But anyway, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're keeping safe, and I'll change the title of this, and I will hopefully upload some more videos over the next couple of days. And I will catch you all later. Please make sure you hit like and subscribe. Thank you, everybody, for your support. And I'm trying to get on here a little bit more now. Bye for now.